Hello children, here's your science teacher Nishat. Presently, I'll be dealing with the chapter Life Processes of Biology. So in your last class, you have learned about the mode of nutrition with respect to plants. Let us now study about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in case of unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium and multicellular organisms like we human beings. So to begin with the unicellular organisms, these organisms are made up of a single cell, and this single cell performs all the functions of the body. For example, let's have a look at the structure of amoeba. Well, amoeba has a jelly-like fluid in its cell called as the cytoplasm, and it has some finger-like projections on its cell surface called as the pseudopodia. So whenever this amoeba finds food, it extends its pseudopodia around the food and fuses to form a food vacuole. The food then gets broken down or digested in this food vacuole. Later on, it is supplied to the cytoplasm of the cell. Remaining undigested food is then thrown out of the cell's surface. So here's a small video clip to understand the mode of nutrition in case of amoeba. Well, in case of paramecium, which is also a unicellular organism, has a definite shape to its cell. So it has many hair-like structures all over its cell surface called cilia. And these cilia help paramecium to take in the food. So this is about the mode of nutrition with respect to the unicellular organisms. The next part is quite very interesting. That is about the nutrition in case of multicellular organisms. That is in we human beings. The nutrition in human beings takes place through digestive system. The digestive system of humans includes various organs and glands such as the mouth, pharynx, esophagus or food pipe, the stomach, small intestine and large intestine. So together they form the alimentary canal. So the long tube that extends from the mouth up to the anus is called as the alimentary canal. Well, digestive system also includes glands such as the salivary glands, liver and pancreas. Together, they make up the digestive system. So let us see the various steps involved in the nutrition of digestive system in humans. So once when we take in the food in mouth, the teeth and tongue help to crush the food by chewing. The salivary gland secretes saliva, the watery fluid, which mixes with the food and make it soft. Now children, the food that we eat is actually complex. Now in order to obtain nutrients such as the carbohydrates, starch, proteins and fats from the food, it has to be first broken down into simpler molecules. And this function of breaking down the complex food into simple molecules is done by the biological catalysts called as the enzymes. Now one such enzyme is present in the saliva known as the salivary amylase, and this salivary amylase enzyme will begin its work of digesting right in the mouth by breaking down the complex starch into simple glucose. Now the food mixed with saliva then moves down the esophagus or the food pipe. This esophagus has a lining that contracts and relaxes in order to push the food down. And this contraction relaxation movement of the lining of esophagus is called as the peristaltic movement or peristalsis. The food now reaches the stomach. Well, stomach is a spacious organ. It expands when the food enters it. Well, the stomach has a unique combination of hydrochloric acid, the enzyme pepsin, and mucus, together known as gastric juice, within it. And the walls of the stomach helps the food to mix it with this gastric juice. Well, this hydrochloric acid present in the stomach creates an acidic medium within it, so that the enzyme pepsin can begin its work of digesting protein by breaking it down into simple molecules. Well, this hydrochloric acid also kills the bacteria from the food that might have entered the stomach. The partially digested food now enters the small intestine. Well, the small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. The small intestine is the actual site of complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And for this purpose, it takes help from glands like liver and pancreas. So, the pancreas release the pancreatic juice into small intestine. This pancreatic juice has enzymes such as the trypsin and lipase. The trypsin enzyme digests protein and the lipase enzyme digests fat. Whereas the liver also secretes another juice called as the bile juice. Well, this bile juice is a yellowish green fluid stored in the gallbladder of our body. This bile juice helps to break down the complex fat molecules from the food into simpler fat globules, so that the lipase enzyme can digest the fats. Further, this small intestine releases its own intestinal juice, which has enzymes within it for the complete digestion of food. Now, this inner lining of small intestine has millions and millions of small, tiny, finger-like projections called villi. And this villi absorb the nutrients from that digested food and supply it to the blood vessels. And these blood vessels in turn supply the nutrients to all the body cells. Well, what about the remaining undigested, unabsorbed food? This undigested, unabsorbed food from the small intestine then moves to the large intestine, and there the villi absorb water from that undigested food, and the rest of the part is removed from the body as waste material through anus. So this is about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in case of we human beings. So let us continue the chapter in our next video.